rooms on teams. The green room is got over 80 people in it altogether. The green room, Skullport Harbor, got over 80 people in it altogether. The green room. Synopsis of various stories and synopsis of various. Oh, interesting. OBS disconnecting. Why is that the case? Oh, interesting. Now OBS disconnecting. Why is that the case? Oh, interesting. Now OBS disconnecting. Why is that the case? Oh, interesting. Now OBS disconnecting. Why is that the case? Oh, interesting. Now OBS disconnecting. Why is that the case? Oh, interesting. Now OBS disconnecting. Why is that the case? Here just with the one device. So, all right, let's see if we got Alan back here with us, giving us a shout. Just you and I, Alan. Now the way you're doing things here, I'm not sure if we can. Okay, yeah. Well, no, by God. Oh, you called us up via the syndicator's room. See? Now that's kind of problematic. That's tricky. Why don't we drop this call and reconnect through WPRPN, okay? That's the way to do it.
Give me a call back then. Give me a call back.
That I will do. Stand by. That's right. Okay. So here we go. Sometimes people do this. We have a couple rooms on Teams. The green room is got over 80 people in it altogether. Skullport Harbor is another one. We try not to use it for much other than dropping links and URLs, and text, synopsis of various stories and whatnot. You don't want to call people up via Skullport Harbor because there's over 100 plus folks in there, and that can be pretty annoying actually. Although the way they've got things set up here now, you enter the room and then you reach out and call them up directly. So it's a kind of a somewhat different way of doing things and approach than the way it was with just Skype. In the basic sense back in the day. We're going to give Robert reach out to him and see if he's up and about, or maybe in any way interested in having his voice heard this morning. It's Christmas Eve morning, yoo-hoo, here via South Korea, and once again we'll be back. Here's a picture, by the way, in case people are wondering, a picture of Stephanie's husband. Now, what disability he struggles with exactly, or maybe series of disabilities, I have no idea. I'm guessing perhaps PTSD could be one of them. So, but yeah, we will be back in a little under. Actually, you know what? No, it's 36 hours from around this time, as a matter of fact, is what we're looking at here. So, and at which point we will be wrapping this year's campaign up. It's the grand finale, so we better do it in style, obviously. And that will be the last live stream that we'll have to offer for probably for 2025, unless we decide to do something on the like the New Year's Eve front. It's a possibility. What do you think, Alan? New Year's Eve? It's, if we got the likes of you and a few others interested, I say,
I've actually had a couple people ask me if I'm going to be broadcasting a New Year's Eve party. I did that, last year.
okay,
Uh,
well, you do
and
it
it was
then.
basically independent music and just
Yeah,
me being an idiot.
no, 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 no. You do it, and then if it's okay, I'll drop by and say hello and see what's shaking.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it takes a bit of leaves me with less work to do. That's for damn sure. Rather than having to get everything up in
Well, we've
place.
got quite a few midnights in order to cover between here and North Korea or South Korea too. We got a lot of New Year's celebrations we can entertain all the way across the pond.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, this is
Connect
interesting.
into England and pick up their New Year's.
Yeah, a lot of
Have a drink. By the time it makes my time, mountain time in the U.S., I ought to be thoroughly drunk.
so yeah, see, this is the only time that I even drink, and right now we polished off a bottle. I think it was a 26er, as we used to call them back in our high school days. The 26er this weekend, this and that. It's like, yeah, I was never too much into drinking because I was more into just vomiting. I think with the alcohol end of things, and my dad warned me about it, but. We did finish off this 26er of rum. I think it was Captain Morgan's too. We went over our way to find that, of course. I mean, what else would you look for? And there's a Kahlua bottle, Kahlua that's nearly empty. And the last that we've purchased here most recently was a little bit of Bailey's. I guess just a little Irish coffee. Is that right? There's cream liqueur. Can you believe
Oh,
this?
I love that. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely. Hot toddy.
ah,
Oh yeah,
hot
favorite
toddy. I
is Crown Royals, cream and coffee. That goes well with each other. Very
sure.
well.
Yeah, yeah. All we got here. I think you remember the other night. I'm not sure if you the hot toddy business. Uh, who was it? It was Roger busting my balls. My usage of that term. And because it's an old ladies, the way old ladies how they refer to their drinks, and it's great because I got the coffee, it's warm, and you got the Baileys in there, and it helps. It's a little chilly in here, so it helps to maintain a bit of a sense of warmth and glow. Which this is what, in part, Christmas and the whole spirit is all about, frankly. So it's the one time of year where I drink a little, and outside of that, nothing, nada. So alcoholism runs in my family, so it's kind of good that I basically got it under control. I saw my father, my mother, I guess I got the best of my uncle and uh, a couple cousins. I had one cousin who this is bloody alcohol, but it's legal. But it's legal, right? So it's like, oh man, what's wrong with this picture? People here in South Korea, they just don't get it. And don't you dare criticize or say anything untoward or critical in any way of their holy, righteous, the alcohol, which really it is taken on a religious type character and dimension within their culture, uh, as is the case in places like Russia, I guess, and elsewhere where it's a central part and component. Japan, you know, uh, drink, 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 and there you go. So, but no, for me, it's like just special dinners, like outings at night, special dinners. Occasionally, just have a shot of their version of Orwell's Victory Gin, which is it's called soju, and it's like a fermented mouthwash, basically, to tell you that it's like a strongly fermented mouthwash. This, I think we talked about this a couple nights ago, and wasn't it you who? It's like a like fermented rice wine kind of deal. It's kind of like, well, I think sake's better. Japanese sake, and you know how they warm it up, right? So,
Right.
it's much better. Or the sake's much better. I'm
I've
almost.
only had that a couple of times in my life, and I really did enjoy it. It is a talent to prepare. It's
Mm,
not something you just give to an average bartender or something like that. There's a ritual that goes along with drinking that as well, and well, a lot of cultures have different rituals for drinking, but
uh-huh.
that's very formal drinking. And if you have a chance in order to actually have it formally prepared for you, it is well worth it. I can tell you that it's an experience.
The sake. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. All I remember is it just being warmed up, and it went along quite well with dinner. I really enjoyed it, but it's not something I'd want to have forced upon me. Uh, you know, time and again, every occasion it was that we found ourselves going out. So, but let me. Now, I'm not sure how long you're able to stick around for. I'm going to launch. You said about an hour, and you've logged that amount of time here. Uh, in true yeoman's fashion, rising. Yeah, I don't. Oh, look, it's the virtual echo coming through with our, when we queue up Telegram. So yeah. How is the weather now in Colorado? What are we looking at? Is there any snow on the ground? It's trying to snow here. It's like it was kind of a really, really on the verge of snowing kind of rain. Cold and just almost trying to snow. But
Yeah, it's been miserable and fun here at the same time. We had we had an inch and a half of snow in less than an hour 2 days ago. Now it's going to be 60, 70 degrees again. So it's completely unpredictable at this point here.
oh, how about that? How about that? So, all right. Well, I'll tell you, as is our live stream at present. So, we're going to shut that down as far as, updating people via social media. The Johnny Webb Show, UFOs, ETs, Paranormal Consciousness. All right. Well, Johnny, of course, did drop in a couple nights ago. I'm not sure if you were here for that or not. Maybe if so, it probably was the first time you had the opportunity of meeting Johnny. He's an old friend of ours, really great guy, and someone who he's an experiencer of sorts and whatnot. I'm not sure. I don't think he pledged anything in support of the campaign. Unfortunately, we didn't challenge him directly in any way. And once again, it's the pirate's might. It's the smallest things that people do. Really, it's just the smallest things that. Do you know a story in the Bible, the widow's mite?
No, I'm not. I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, you can look it up if you're interested. But it basically just had to do with this lady, widow, like her husband was dead, and it's actually it's an old Buddhist story too. As with the prodigal son, that you find that in the Buddhist tradition, and there's a number of parables which parallel one another from the Buddhist to the Christian. Maybe that's why they're shutting us down. I have no idea. Something weird taking place here, but yeah, just giving, even though there were rich men. I think Roger Hansen read this out for us last night. To, look at that shot of that dog there. Hey, just so what a beautiful creature. Just yeah, so just amazing. And people that like bloody Fauci, what I just got nothing good to say. He's a horrible, horrible person, all in the name of science too, and torturing those animals. So just anyone that would do such a thing, just I got. My grandma used to say back in the day, if you don't have something good to say, it's best you don't say it at all. But where the hell were we now? This is why we got you on deck here. Where the hell were we now? This is why we got you on a little bit here, on Socratic fashion, kind of circle back to where were you, Jeffy? What going on about? So, as if it, I don't know, even really matters because of the number of moving parts that we've got here. But this is a beautiful scene here we've got with this cool, presumably royalty free kind of cool jazz. Maybe I'll bring that online here for people to look at for a moment or two. And Alan, you and I can, because I was looking to see if we were live streaming anywhere actually, and just Facebook, everything. It's a no-go, man. It's I don't know. What do you think? What's the deal? How do you explain that one? Is it a simple?
Well, we can take a look at everything that you're trying to connect to, and maybe use a proxy of some sort. I'm not exactly sure why you're being bumped. Another question. Now, I sent you the downloader. You said it didn't work for you because of something. What was going on now?
YouTube refuses to allow us to download, just in the same way that with Gab. Now, our accounts are still in place, but because of the, I guess it's the ISP number, presumably, that they're cock blocking us entirely. Gab.
I'm wondering if it's geographical, because
it's Cloudflare. No, it's not. No, because I had someone here. Actually, he was a Korean dude that hardly spoke any English, but he checked out the account nonetheless. It just asked if you do a favor. Checked out the account nonetheless. It was there. He checked it on his little spy phone, and it's definitely still there, the account. So if that's what you mean by geographical, no, they've. And you've heard of Cloudflare?
Yeah.
These guys, like, that's total. It's got to be. It's NSA, man. Come on, convince me that tell me that's something else. Really, like, look at the infrastructure they have. If you check out their homepage and what the sort of propaganda that they spew, and this is the sort of thing that. And the amount of money that's gone into building them up, obviously. This is the sort of thing that leads right back to the Epstein, not just the Epstein files, but the whole world of what he was tied into and what he was all about. Silicon Valley, and, it's like the endless militarization, capitalization, seizing upon any new innovation. And that's once again why this MIT professor, they felt they had to have him eliminated. And he's one of the people, like the naturopaths you might have heard of over the years, and they die in clusters. Robert knows about this. He's a lot more up to speed on the whole business than myself. But investment bankers, in the way that they die in clusters. And then even before that, a number of years ago, before the whole phony scamdemic took off, and it's interesting the timing of things and the build up to, similar to what oh God Almighty. Oh, now they want to muck around with in shutting down, taking down Teams, and it says OBS is disconnecting, but is it really? Yeah, well, this is the thing. The OBS, they want to take us down, but then they never really do. Oh, yeah, there we go. And then we're reconnected. So we're back again. Did you see us drop out?
Yes, I sure did.
Yeah, so this is really funny. I don't know, it's like it is what it is, and like I said, the mark of a true Aryan is one when you're presented with the food, for example. That's why the Buddha died. They talk about him dying in the end because he was too. It's kind of it's.
Rather than dying, didn't he go rainbow? I thought he went
Well,
rainbow
I guess he would
rather
have.
than dying.
He probably would have because it was. They so the story goes. It was his last time. Like he basically liberating himself from the wheel of rebirth, the breaking through the whole matrix nonsense and saying, sayonara. There's nothing more I can do for you. I've said everything I could. The rest is up to you, sort of deal, right? Because
Right.
there's the Bodhisattva business that came later. That's it's we're gonna have a actual monk from out of Ceylon, Sri Lanka, join us here. He's pretty eager to connect with us in the new year. We're gonna have Preston Dennett on as a feature guest as well.
Now is that a monk with Buddhism?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. What color monk is he? Did you know that there's different color monks?
You're talking about the robes that they wear?
Well, yes and no. It has to do with the um, nature of man. Each color represents a different attribute that can be perfected. One is, purple. I'd have to look it up again, but each one shows a different discipline.
Are you talking about the? I'm sorry, just to be clear, the robes that they wear, or their
It's
racial features, like the ethnic
no, the robes
pigmentation,
that they wear,
skin.
but it's not the robe that they wear. It's the trait that they dedicate to.
Oh, I see. So that would be like the path, or
Right.
yeah, gotcha. Okay, okay.
Um, I
Well,
actually
that's a
missed.
good question.
I actually missed, and I don't know his name. I don't ask me. But I actually missed a 20-minute audience I could have had with the top of the purple sect
Not the Dalai
in
Lama.
Chicago. Yeah, well, that would be, yeah, that would be the
No.
top of the sect. But it was one of the sub people that they were in Chicago, and I missed it by about 20 minutes. I could have had an audience with him, and I would have
Hmm.
loved to.
Well, that's wonderful. Although, full disclosure, have you heard the term stripping the gurus, or have you heard of the PDF? Have you seen the PDF, stripping the
No, I sure
gurus?
have.
Well, you're aware of how sexual misconduct is rampant everywhere, of course, and not
It
least.
happens to be something mammals do, but that's okay. We'll figure that out.
Well, it's particular when you're in these positions of power and you have like trust, I suppose, and you're able in some ways you're to quite skillfully, maybe even without trying. Who knows? Uh, Seduce your audience and the students in this case, the students that they have sitting at their feet, hanging on every last little word that they say, and for good reason too, in the sense that they're there to learn and to grow and evolve spiritually. So I mean, of course you're going to listen, to you know what it is that your teacher has to offer. The term guru, for those who are not aware, on one level, the most basic level, simply means from out of the darkness and into the light. Out of the darkness and into the light. Although we had Paramahansa Yoga, not Paramahansa Yogananda. Oh gosh, David. He's just David now, and he spent 30, was it 30 years as a monk in I always get confused with these countries in Thailand. I don't know if it was sorry, in Asia. Was it Thailand? No, I don't think so. It was, name some other Southeast Asian countries besides Thailand. Wasn't
Philippines.
no. There's not much of a. There used to be, I think, a Buddhist tradition there, but not any longer. It's mostly
No, that yeah, no. What's
Thailand.
remaining in the Philippines is the oldest, some of the oldest practice that there is, and they are not there for popularity. They're there for survival.
You're talking about Buddhism?
Yes, Buddhism in the
Wow.
Philippines is some of the oldest practice.
Yeah.
And they are not out for popularity or now,
Right.
people that know about them. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a sect. It's one of the oldest
Well,
practices.
because they were kind
And
of wiped out, weren't they? They were, because they established
at one
themselves
point, yes,
way.
China has done their damage to all of those people. I mean, it's been.
Oh, shit. Was it okay? What's Myanmar now better known as? What am I
I
brain?
wouldn't be able to answer that.
What am I brain dumping? I think that's maybe where he was based out of. Bloody hell. So, anyways, David, he was a bhikkhu of sorts, which is like a monk and a forest ascetic forest wanderer, essentially. Uh, and his take on the whole guru business, yeah, light from out of the darkness and into the light. But and it's interesting, this light business too. The Freemasons, they love their light. I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but with every degree, every level, I think pretty much every new degree that is conferred upon you, that it's essentially
Those
all about
degrees
the
are hard to
light.
earn. The trial and tribulation that you have to go through, as I understand it, can be extremely costly, socially, physically.
And
You know,
economically, financially too.
exactly. Anybody that's achieving anything like that, it's not a monetary gain or monetary achievement. It is a private achievement, and that's something else that a lot of people don't realize is that these things are earned. The cost of them, though, socially, personally, is normally pretty high. Whether that's isolation, going through a tribulation, or certain setups, literally a setup that you have to survive, and have the intelligence over a period of time in order to survive it. But these are personal things that you hold to yourself. It's not something, and yeah, they do, have the tapestry, just like in Catholic religion and things like that. They have titles, which they earn, which is, socially shared or inter-socially shared
Knights
to
Templar
the
with the 17th degree with the, what is it, the Scottish Rite, I think. And I'm a little confused on the Blue Lodge and what have you. But the Scottish Rite, I think it is around the 17th degree. You
it's a
become a Knights
stark
Templar.
contrast between the red and the blue.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
stark contrast.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never fully understood it, except that it is a path of how you learn, not what you learn. It's the path of how you learn it.
Huh.
And one is considered to be watered down, the other is not. The Blue Lodge is considered to be watered down,
Interesting.
socially acceptable, something that most societies will generate people that will tolerate it.
Uh-huh.
The red, on the other hand, is considered to be older, more strict, and well, more personally costly.
Oh, with the dues that they're required to pay for like
No,
initiation
not at all.
fees.
I'm talking about the physical effort, the emotional strain that you're under, going through your different degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like It's the difference between being an Olympic swimmer and a Navy SEAL. The red would be the Navy SEAL. The blue would be an Olympic swimmer. They're great swimmers, but what else do they do? So in the red, you have all of these other nuances that you would learn, but it would be learned by experience, whereas the blue would be more academic.
Yeah, a lot of memorization, from what I understand. There's a whole lot of memorization that goes into it. So we're getting a little off topic, though. Although it would be interesting to challenge the Masonic community. The so far, it's interesting. Christians have sort of not really managed to rise to the occasion. Satanists they've really shied away from any challenges we've put forward. So hey, maybe it's time to
Well, the thing of it
develop the
is,
Freemasonic
these
community.
as soon as they're challenged, whether it be Mason, if you want to talk, you know, demonic, as soon as they're challenged, the challenge destroys their persona.
Shout out to thank you for
So
that.
because
Hang on.
they have to reveal what they're hiding in order to sit there and meet that challenge is what it means.
I kind of get that. So thank you, Alan. We finally got our stream back on Fakebook. It looks like for now. Stephanie Wilcox, Matt Imber. There's a handful of people that we've got over there, including a number of lurkers. So thanks for the support, folks. Good morning from New York. Getting some snow here this morning. Maybe a white Christmas. That's just peachy now, isn't it, Stephanie? So, yeah, good stuff. And why don't we finish reading her letter now that we've connected with her in real live time, and then we can continue on and just to finish up with the particulars to the campaign and extend these challenges to people out there who maybe they haven't done anything to this point for anyone really other than themselves at best. It's because unfortunately the way that maybe society is and the way that we are is in our own individual independent manner as well, just a highly selfish introverted gaze and self-serving nature. I mean, I'm as bad as the next person. It's one of the reasons why I believe this landed at our doorstep, and that the challenge was extended. The vision was unveiled, and the rest essentially has been up to us. But anyone can do this, Alan. And Roger Hansen gets it. He's been restreaming our content as best he can. He's helping out with some editing here behind the scenes on show number 7. Hopefully we'll get that back in the next day or so, and then we can, we'll get the rest of what we've put together here up onto BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey, primarily these digital libraries that we really value and appreciate, obviously. So let's continue with the letter here, though. I think it was really beautiful, and we've and heartfelt and sincere, and it's great that we have the opportunity to generate this sort of quality karma, good Christmas karma. Stephanie, did you get a recent email too? You should have, hopefully. So as far as the PayPal end of things goes, $50 is what we've pledged, and we're challenging that in support of her and her family. Let's read the rest of what we got here. Talking about, of course, the roof that's in dire need of some attention. It's leaking. Like, what would you say? Like there's no tomorrow. It's leaking in a pretty bad way, and it would be great if the likes of Robert Morningstar or someone with a connection. Even you don't have to live there yourself. You can just have a friend, maybe who has a friend, and is that's based out of her near the Syracuse area. I think it's within an hour or so of Syracuse, 90 minutes at the most, Harpersville, and they're able to drop by and lend a hand, or maybe they've got groceries, clothing, uh, miscellaneous other items, whatever she and her family might be in need of, towels, toiletries, what else? And work, employment. She's game. She's ready, to get to work too, and to be work with in the field of. Well, she's. I know she talks about here in the balance of what she wrote to us here, but uh, special needs is one of the areas for sure. The service industry. She likes people. She likes working with people, and as some folks do, it's a service industry, and if you can help to, do what it takes to put a smile on somebody's face throughout the course of your day, I mean, what more can you really ask for? I mean, that's those are the sort of jobs that you want to have. So, let's see. So, wait, I know this weighs heavily on his heart. This is her disabled former uh, military vet husband, because he can't do for us what he once could. Yeah, I think a few of us know that feeling. Financially, we're barely making it. And that's what, well, they had and both of the vehicles broke down too, let's not forget. So she feels like no matter what they do, just can't catch up. Oh, you know, you're not alone on that front, that's for darn sure. And maybe that's one of the reasons why Trump's, with what all the big promises that were made in the course of his, the last presidential campaign, that is just not managing to deliver, unfortunately. So who knows? Maybe the tariff strategy isn't actually bearing fruit or panning out in the way it hoped. There are things we can't afford. Barely functioning through depression. Oh God. Well, I hope you meditate. I hope you practice meditation or learn to practice just qualitative breathing is really what it is. Making a heart connection is the best way that I can put it. No expert in the field, and there's a lot of free videos online and so many techniques, but stress management, definitely, it's something they really, even going in university, uh, constantly referencing stress management. So I talk to the wife about this all the time, just with life and its burdens. And remember, enlightenment is where we cast off these worldly woes and carry on regardless. Once again, there's a little catchphrase that we referenced earlier. I've neglected myself for so long, it just feels normal to go without. Not sure what she means by that. Forget about thinking about her own needs. What are her own needs? What do you? Well, uh, okay. Let's see. Between having special needs, children, and a disabled husband, always taking care of someone else. Okay, now I get it. Yeah, that's tough. Tired, not just the kind of tired that sleep can fix. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gosh, oh boy, it's hard too. Because you want to have good food in your, like, as part of your diet. The quality sleep, as you're talking about there, but and vitamins, minerals. Uh, I'm not sure what else maybe you could think of, Alan. Here, it's tough, isn't it? So, but around your soul and won't let go. Kind of the kind that wraps. Oh, I see. So it's a real spiritual challenge, she's up against here, like the worldly burdens. And we're hoping that we can make a difference, though, Stephanie. We might not be able to, you know, I mean, we can't. Well, who knows? Maybe work miracles. You never know. I guess if you're open-minded enough, the thought experiment business, Alan. There's only the two of us here tonight, but this is usually for people that are sick or dying or in dire straits. It's were you an Art Bell listener back in the day, Alan? You ever listen to
Me and
Art
my
Bell?
father both were.
Oh, okay. When did your dad pass
If it wasn't
away, by the
wasn't
way?
for long if it wasn't for long drives in the Cadillac that, took 4 or 5 hours to get there and stuff like that, I would not have been exposed. But my father was an avid listener.
What the hell? What are you talking about? 4 or 5 hours in a Cadillac to what? To the newspaper?
No, no, we did a lot of traveling. We'd go from Joliet to Des Moines, Joliet up into Wisconsin, stuff like that, to Indianapolis. We'd
Mm-hmm.
drive, and it was quite often. We would have a trip every week, and it just so happened that Art Bell would always be on the AM side, and I couldn't listen to my rock and roll, so we listened to Art Bell, and I became a fan that way.
That's quite something. Why were you spending so much time with him on the road? Where were you traveling
Well,
off to?
he was a technician for a pipeline out of Chicago, West
Oh,
Shore Pipeline, and a lot of times he'd have to go on the road for, either classes or in order to go to another station downline, stuff like that, in order to work for a couple of days and come
uh-huh.
back. Also, he again, I mentioned this before. He was the editor for CB America magazine, so a lot of the well, whether it be ham radio or CB or anything like that, we attended a lot of the CB gatherings and things back in the day. There'd always be two or three of them a week, different people having, coffee meetings and stuff like that. Just, you know, gatherings, and we'd go to these and also promote the magazine and things like that as well. So.
We're loading up more diamonds, lemons, and whatnot into the treasure chest on D Live. We're finally back, and we've managed to pick up a handful of people over on D Live. It's is what the numbers that we're seeing here, along with Facebook, of course. So that's great. Telegram is another option for folks. As is YouTube is tricky. It doesn't look like, from what we're seeing here on this end, there is no YouTube, and I'm not sure why that is. We could have it back online here momentarily. We'll just have to see how it goes. But and what are the Freemason angle to all this, and Freemasonry in business? I'm wondering, and with his with his background in that, that was part of his life, and it's fascinating too, the way they, a couple things they call it. It's the no otherwise a aka the craft. And in addition to that, let's see, trying to get YouTube on board. The craft, they tell us time and again, it's not a religion. uh China's
It
Buddhist
is, but it
too.
isn't. It's you have to have religion in order to belong. Some religions will take you on different paths within it, but to be honest with you, it's a college. It's a fraternity college.
Oh,
Rather than a college fraternity, it's a fraternity college.
that's, and now, did you learn all this from your father? Is this what he told you?
Um, Actually, he spoke very little of it. What I do know about the Masonic learning, I had to learn the hard way.
On your own?
Okay, I learned it. I learned it by exercise, not academic study.
What
It'd be much later, actually, after his death, that I put a lot of this back together and realized the significance of what the Masons are, and learn to appreciate it. Also learn the negative side. Like I said, I mean, after all, we have atomic bombs because of a college, right? So
The Invisible
you could learn.
College?
You can. I'm sorry.
The Invisible College?
It's not invisible. The Rosicrucians are much like the Masons in their learning, but it is more prejudice to religion than Masons, I believe. The Masons are one of the few that open their doors to blacks for the Prince Lodge.
Yeah, but they've got
And
separate. Those are separate. Those are separate. What would you say? Not. They're separate lodges, though. With the Prince, was it Prince Hall, as you say?
well,
Like the.
again, you notice that they're referred to as princes, not brothers.
Uh-huh.
Why?
I.
It's a solemn recognition for the fact that the blacks were the rulers originally in Egypt.
That's
They
one
weren't the
way.
slaves; they were the rulers.
Uh-huh. Right. Yeah.
And it's a slight toward that. Um, I the prejudice is universal. I
Yeah.
mentioned this yesterday. I mean, this prejudice and hypocrisy
Yeah.
is universal. It doesn't matter what you do or where you go. Okay, you can go to church, you can go to professional racing. Stereotypes allow these people to escape, and but I do believe that the fact that they do call it the Prince Lodge has a lot to do with the recognition of history that is no longer true. There's a pendulum
Mm.
that they describe, and it moves back and forth. And at one time, the blacks were in charge, and the whites were enslaved. At
Uh,
another time,
uh-huh.
it flips. The social dynamics of things flip, and there's times that this flip is more vulnerable than others, and you can control that flip.
Yeah.
So these are things that they teach you, and it, you learn the basics. In other words, how to control yourself first.
Right.
You learn discipline first, and without that, none of this will ever make sense.
Yeah. We'll come back to this at some future point in time. It's quite intriguing. I enjoy listening to Manly P. Hall and the lectures that he recorded back in the day. Elvis Presley was someone actually who was drawn to Manly P. Hall too, and it bored his wife at the time. Priscilla was bored to tears, and then she ends up becoming a lifelong Scientologist, I guess. Something that Elvis completely, and utterly opposed in the most vociferous way. Like those bastards are just after my money. Is kind of what he talked about. Let me let me distribute these rewards here. We got like I said, a handful of people over on D Live. We'll give a few more moments here for people if you want getting the word out. And you know, who knows? We could load up the treasure chest once again. It's something that the Reverend Jim suggested that we do. We hadn't engaged in this in some time. We'd sort of forgotten about it. So thank you to uh, our good friend and fellow pirate matey, Reverend Jim, for refreshing our memories. Uh, I never did finish the earlier point either. Now that we're sort of on the esoteric topic of how Robert Morningstar. Look at the cat here mucking her. The cat loves our mouse, and that's not like a pun or any cute little joke or attempt at something like that either. He's totally imprinted. I think is the term. They imprint upon different parts, places around the house and objects and things, and he insists. He sees that we're busy using it with our hand all the time, and he's got to be there. He's got to have it. So But Robert Morningstar and his, I think his Tai Chi lessons, he's pledged a few hours of instruction, as I have with respect to guitar and singing, as best I'm able to help people out that are interested in these areas. We could we've even, some live streaming or podcasting, as clunky as things have been here tonight, that we could, offer a few things that would get you definitely started, hopefully on the right path, and share with you all the tips that we were able to manage. So just click on the campaign G Drive goodies bag, that link, as it reads in the show description end of things, and you get a clear sense of what we're talking about here. So we got about 10 seconds until, there might not be anyone who picks up on this go around, but 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see who comes out on top here. Luckiest followers, it looks like nobody for the time being. So we'll try this again, unless they kick us offline, of course. Just right before we wrap up, which is going to be quite shortly, actually, because, just taking a very impromptu approach, and thankfully having the good company that we have here this go round, in the form of one Alan Tank Man Fredrickson out of Fort Collins, Colorado. We've been able to sail along here quite smoothly. A few challenges. The YouTube, it looks like, has it's broken itself up into, for now at least, there's two chunks, or parts to what they will have archived up there. We might just take those shows down, because there's going to be a big gap in between there too, and maybe just upload. We'll do a little post-production here and compress the file we've got to make it a little smaller, more readily accessible.
I want to extend a olive branch to you a little bit here, but it does take a little bit of trust. I'm not exactly sure how your computer is configured and things like that, but I do have some ideas on how you can branch out. You can use the same techniques I am, but to describe that and then try to wait for you in order to get there, it would be almost impossible. So if you want to install something like AnyDesk or something like that, that I can share the screen with you and then show you a few tricks, I'd love to be able to do that. In addition to that, I can set it up so when you go live, you will automatically interrupt your broadcast currently on home network, which is a recorded broadcast, and go live simultaneously.
Yeah.
So there's things like that I can show you how to set up. I'm not exactly sure what your funds are, but we can get you set up. There's a couple of programs I use, that does cost something, ChatGPT being one of them, because I use.
Uh-oh. You're kidding me. Hang on a second. Somebody pushed the wrong button. Why did the Christmas music decide to
There we are.
Yeah, we're back. I pushed the wrong button. So let me try this again. See, there we go. Okay, I did, and we're fine. We're good.
Well,
See.
what I'm saying is I can optimize your computer a little bit in order to get it running, and maybe have a little bit better of internet connection. I am very interested in getting a program called NeoTrace on your computer. If you download that, it's free for the first week that you use it. But what it'll do is it'll describe every computer that your computer's touching, and give us a ping on that computer to see what's actually slowing us down. If there's any way of rerouting you around a low ping, we can do that.
Oh yeah. Well, We'll talk about that here a little more behind the scenes after the campaign wraps up. That's probably the best way of doing things. And I appreciate the offer. Thank you. I don't know if it's so much of an olive branch. I was going to say, like, I didn't realize that we were at loggerheads, or that we were somehow
Well, again, it takes
in
trust
conflict.
in order to let me do that, and I can show you
Yeah,
what it is. But
right.
you have to understand, we also have WBOU and things like that. And if I can get a few things configured, and first of the year working with WBOU, we might be able to get you a regular time slot there.
Oh yeah, that would
So
be it, live or pre-recorded.
it would be live.
Oh well, we'll talk about that then. Obviously, that
Well, again, it'd
just
have to be after the first of the year. But
oh,
I
good
mean, he's
stuff.
looking for content. Everyone's needing content. And
Okay.
guess what? We have content.
Well, it does appear as if that's the case. So, and we got content that has been sent to us here, courtesy of Stephanie Wilcox out of Harpersville, New York. So, let's continue on and wrap this up. But really heartfelt and sincere once again. So she's tired, not just the kind of tired you can sleep can fix, but kind of wraps around your soul and won't let go. She's very poetic in the way that she writes here and expresses herself. That's definitely noteworthy. I don't talk about it, but there's a whole war inside me no one ever sees. And yeah, it's very simple, straightforward, to the point with her, the way she's conveying her thoughts. Something that, I really,
What's the matter,
I
Thunder?
pardon me?
I have an interrupter here. He wants my attention. Be
Oh,
right back.
oh, okay. Sounds like one of his pets. Uh, I wake up every morning, put on a smile. That's what she says here. Let's see. Well, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe a little busy there. And we can mute him out while he deals with his what it sounds to be pets. Uh, like a lot of people, I guess, really are in this same type of situation. But as I said, or alluded to earlier, meditation is really critical. And that it's amazing the insights that you can uh, conjure or establish just in penetrating, cutting through all the worries, like need things that many times are needless. They're you know uh that burden us and weigh us down. So it need not be the case. I wake up every morning, put on a smile, and walk through the world as if I'm okay. Oh gosh, how many people do this? It's really sad. Being breaking down is a luxury I was never given. Still I hold the world as if it's never shattered me. Oh, yeah, yeah. People call me strong, but strength isn't a choice. It's survival, burying pain so deeply, even my own reflection has forgotten what I look like when I'm happy. And maybe the scariest part is how good I have become at pretending I'm fine. Yeah, yeah, that's a very good point. So, everyone depends on me, and it's so exhausting. Now that I can identify with, totally empathize, as provider, mother of the family, trying her darndest to keep things together, and then the husband as well too, from the male perspective. So I feel so unseen. Well, you're not tonight. You're not, because everyone's seeing you now. That's what you're looking for, and that's what we're hoping is we're to achieve here. Obviously, by sharing your story, and hopefully, there'll be more out there who empathize and who are willing, to get behind uh, we've done here over the past couple of years in supporting your family in this the small way that we have, just mostly symbolic more than anything else. And like we've talked about, it can be, more than just token cash donations. Yeah, clothes, food, medical items, needs, household, miscellaneous things that can be put to use around the house, whatever. Just get in touch with Stephanie, and we can easily provide you with her email. I think she'd be okay with that. For starters, obviously, and uh, just to be clear, we've had no problems to this point with any over the past 10 plus years with people getting in touch and working things out, meeting in person or just taking care of what they agreed to via a long distance approach and basis. But for the record, we bear no third party liability or responsibility in the event that something does go awry. So just a general sort of a caveat, basically. But we'd like to just step back and remove ourselves from the picture and let the two consenting adult parties either pursue things in the way that they agree upon or not. Uh, but that's and anyone can do this once again with the live streaming and working to ourselves selectively sponsor who we're going to talk about, who's out there, whose situation is one that is worth promoting and helping to lend greater exposure to. So they'll depend on her, what she tells us here. Understandable. Deep down, I know I'm the thread keeping it all together for all of us. Uh, well, yeah. I'm sure the kids bring a lot to the table too, though. Even they are special needs, but I think they're. You should see these letters to Santa that they've written. I was really impressed, very impressed. And you know what? I should bring those up in a slideshow. I'd like to wrap things up here, and we'll highlight and focus on these with the grand finale in about 36 hours too, where it'll be a different time slot, 1 p.m. here in the afternoon, Christmas Day, via South Korea. I think Santa's coming too. By the way, I've heard. We've been on the horn. I am a professional elf. I haven't really mentioned that too many times here throughout the course of this year's campaign, but you might remember in years past, uh, working here the last 23 years now, 23 tours of duty, essentially in the capacity of a professional elf. And just doing everything I can to, because we have a lot. We have other elves out there as well. Alan has come on recently to perform to the best extent that he can in that capacity as well. So, and Yvonne Malfont. Let me finish this letter here. Oh, geez. There's let me get back to Yvonne and others. Nothing I want more than to keep the family, for my family, this holiday season than joy. There we go. That's what I was just thinking of, was like the laughter. And I saw that in the pictures. Like there was the laughter, the joy, and the happiness. I mean, special needs that they may be, there, thank God. It's just, we all should, of course, count our blessings. I do every day. I talk to the wife about this too, counting our blessings. Be thankful for the things we have. You know, uh, we're not much better off than Stephanie and her family here, for the sounds of things. Really, I did pick up this new job recently, which is great, but uh, who knows how long it's going to last. Doing my best, obviously, to perform well, and it's just not easy to satisfy everyone. In fact, tonight we heard back, I guess there was a couple mothers. First of all, one of the things they say I smell, which, I mean, Koreans smell too, okay? They smell like garlic, like soju, like kimchi, and like cigarettes, typically. But if you're a fellow Korean, then it's all the same thing. You don't even notice,
I
really.
smell. I'm not plastic.
Yeah, yeah. But I do. Here's the thing: I shower before I go. I shower and soap up, and you know, the winter months, the fall season as well too. Thank God, you have a sense probably of how the humidity here is just off the charts during the summer in particular. But sweat does not smell. Just to let people know, in case they're wondering, I guess sweat does not smell. What it is, and this is one of the reasons I freshened up and had a shower as soon as I got home again, is and shampooing, doing the hair and the whole thing is it's when it dries. I guess was what I read or what the information I came across. And I believe that it's like, yeah, because my shirts, they once they dry and this with the sweat, they need to be washed, and they need to be washed well, and you want them to come out really nice and fresh and clean. So, and then on top of that, I go to work out of the taxi. I don't like walk, and I'm not walking to work or sweating or nothing. It's out of the taxi, up a couple, take the elevator up a couple of stories. There you are. Put on your deodorant, a little more, and spray yourself so that you want me to smell. Well, here, I'll smell like this crap. So if you want me to smell, and by the way, one trick too, I don't putting on deodorant just on maybe on the armpits, but not under the clothes. It's on top of the clothes because it's like now these days they say aluminum free. Great, no more aluminum. They were the way that they were poisonous for who knows how many years, and having people expose those sensitive glands that we have under in our armpits. Pretty some pretty serious stuff. So uh what else is there in these products that they're not telling us about, along with, for starters, the aluminum they're taking out? What still remains? It's anybody's guess. Anyways, and now most recently it's what the hell is it? Oh, I gave some kids, I was talking because it's Christmas season. So I was talking about our campaign, and now like all hell's broken loose, at least on two fronts. A couple mothers calling in, and they're totally, I'm not sure what it is exactly, just finding a reason to complain about something, I guess. It's like I don't get it. I mean, we were talking about Christmas. These people, like, the largely a lot of them are Christians too, or they say they are. They're going to churchy. They say here in Korea, churchy. So they self-identify as such, and it's not the kids really. I don't think that are the problems. Mostly, it's just the overly hyper kind of like neurotic and hyper protective mothers, usually just looking for something to complain about. So, I mean, for God's sakes, it's the Christmas season. You tell us you self-identify as Christian, or maybe not. Maybe you're just a secular sort of atheist, just no religion kind of person. Fine. Well, there's a lot of people of that type with Xmas, I guess, is one of the reasons they call it Xmas. Those types is because Rudolph and Santa and presents and family and friends and good times and getting together and enjoying just the one day that here they have in Korea. It's not a seasonal affair. It's just the one day, and that's it. So yeah, that's the way it goes here. But anyways, moving along. I know that's unrealistic to ask for. I'm hoping maybe someone has information on a program that may help with this need. We would be truly grateful for anything. So yeah, I'm sorry, I just back things up talking about desperate for the new roof more than anything. Joy and the roof. Um yeah, let's we're praying and thought, intention, experiment, working on getting the word out. We've got to there's something's gotta give. There's got someone, these people, they appear, they manifest, these angels in human form. The bodhisattvas is what the Buddhists would say. So Merry Christmas from my family to yours with gratitude, Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie. It's very sweet. We really love hearing from you. Maybe we'll get into this with the in more detail, this part and her letter that we could share with people, I guess, and let them look it over, make of it what they will. But with with the finale, Alan Mosdale was asking about, well, geez, like what's going on here? Like, what do you produce and what's happening? Like, is anyone delivering? What's going on? Everything. Remember, it is Secret Santa. It's not like you know
We're breaking
total.
up just a little bit. I hope you can hear me. Basically,
Yeah,
we've
just
got
fine.
the downloader I'm working on. Now, your same problem about broadcasting, I'm working on solve that as well. Um, yeah, we've got a really big thing that says poor network quality.
You're breaking up. Actually, maybe I'm breaking up.
If
I
it's
don't.
at my end.
You're really breaking up though. So let me just say that
There we go.
stream, yeah, stream is back. And we do have Zane Ivy on board there too, lurking at 1:20 a.m. Good to see you there, Zane. Thank you for connecting. So we're gonna try this D Live. No, D Live seems to be wanting to. Okay, hang on. All right, let's go. We're gonna let's load. We're gonna add another 50 diamonds to the treasure chest, and it's interesting to note how these digital tokens that they've got over on D Live have depreciated uh, in without hardly any time whatsoever. So come on over to where we are on D Live, folks. We'll give this one more shot here. Maybe just give it a few more moments here. Don't let me forget, Alan. Trying to wind this one down here, actually, but pledges, buy me a coffee, buy us a coffee. Check that link out, folks. Maybe a little more easy to and accessible than what is it? PayPal or Patreon. Which and let's look at the merchandise there as well. But altogether, throughout the course of the campaign, we are deferring any funds that do come our way. We're not directly soliciting either, just to be clear. But anything that does come our way during the campaign goes directly back to the grassroots, to the likes of Stephanie and her family. By the way, we did pick up $100 donation today from courtesy of my students here in Korea. So that was great to have manifest. And another thing that I'll add to this, Mr. Anderson is not present this year. regular listeners, people who have been on board for a few years, like Zane, will know that Mr. Anderson, he went wild with the donations and the support uh, over the years, and I hope he's doing all right. You know, he's been in and out of hospitals of various sorts, and a whole range of health issues that he's been having to uh, contend with. It really is a tragic state of affairs. You know, he's someone I do believe whose heart is in the right place, but you know, just I don't know what to say. You know, with when it comes to challenges, health issues that people face, whether physical, mental, or otherwise. But he's a very generous person, very generous. As with Alan Mosdale, Aussie Allen, who, you know, he recently produced his the belt, I guess, that he reckons goes for. It's like leather, handy, uh, finely crafted, custom made leather work. This belt, which he reckons is market value $200, and we're gonna, you know, it's out there starting bid of 50 bucks, 50 doubloons for anyone that wants to, you know, take a shot at getting their hands on that. World Pirate Radio Podcast Network is what it says. It's just it's great the way that, you know, that he's skills that he's cultivated over the years, and just the natural able that he demonstrates in this area. So and on top of that, there's free shipping, so you don't have to worry about the shipping. And he's also got another offer of another custom made belt that he's willing to produce completely from scratch, whatever design or way of going about doing things that you would like to see, you know, come your way. So, all right, and Sonia has the T-shirt out that we showcased, we highlighted last night. The Operation Secret Santa T-shirts will drop by galacticfire.com. Check out the link that we have in the show description and things. Be able to see what she's recently launched over there. We have 100 kilos of rice that our church ladies, more of our Korean students, our adult students, coming through for us here, and you know, leading by example. That's what a lot of this is about, folks. You know, not just sitting back, you know, on your haunches and you know, playing the role of the spectator, but getting involved, throwing yourself into it, and you know, sussing out, as it were, how you can be part of the solution in some regard. And you can be anonymous too, if that's what you prefer, which we're totally cool with. But you've got to tell us right off the top. And this is both whether you're from the standpoint of playing, you know, taking on the role of Secret Santa, or the recipient, because sometimes, you know, people are they're a little embarrassed, frankly, and not all that keen to uh, reveal their identities necessarily. It might make it a little more challenging to sponsor them, with that being the case, presumably. So, but yeah, Operation Divvy the Booty, what we're looking at here. Kaiser Schuff, you know, we had him on board here. He just he bounced in and he bounced out, and it was a little disappointing to see, actually, the way that happened. You know, because I don't understand why he decided he wasn't able to stick around or click on the link to the show. That was just really odd. And he actually went so far as accusing us of ghosting him, which was utterly bizarre. I'm not sure what's going on, like why he's feeling that paranoid, frankly, because our door has always been open to him. There's hardly anyone that we've that we don't. The bottom line, the only requisite that we have here with the shows and content we put out is one thing and one thing only: don't be a dick. You can have fun and take the piss, as it were, and bust other people's balls, but do it in good fun, not in a malicious or mean way of going about doing things. So winners never quit, quitters never win. Robert Morningstar, once again, the Tai Chi instruction, 3 hours. This is just a rough kind of rundown as well, too. Kirsta, once again, massage, both Reiki, long distance, as well as in person through Washington State, potentially. Arrangements made. Click on be sure as well to click on the campaign, the G Drive goodies list. That'll give you more of an insight into how we're doing things. These are just a few rough notes I put together before going live here. So we got music as well too. Few people have taken advantage of this. Some of the songs of mine, both covers and originals, they can get a hold of digital downloads for $20. There is free music I've recorded that we have online as well. But if you send us or pledge $20, we can fix you up with a pretty decent quality, good number of digital downloads that that you and most the rest of the world have yet to hear what I put together in the studio years ago, originals and covers. Once again, English, Korean lessons, along with Korean cooking, is what the wife has pledged here. So, and people are taking to that here once again this year, as they, for whatever reason, normally do. So, yeah, if that's the sort of thing that interests you, these language lessons at what is it? It's standard market value, like 3 hours, $150 for the English, and I think we're starting out at $20 a pop, so it's like $60 for all three. Which the starting bid, it just like if you are able to land that, it works out just a little more than 1 hour is what you're paying there for all three. So, and similar with the cooking, bidding until January 15th. That's something to take note of. So, and we'll update the auction list. What's goods, items, services that are available when we manage to catch our breath here. We might have the time to do it before the grand finale. That would be a good idea to set that as our goal, actually, one of them. And share what we have here with the water listening world. So this top part that we just a little bit of like a promotional blurb, I guess, here. So remember the hashtag too, folks. Hashtag OSS 2025. Really kind of helpful, critical stuff. So that about does it, Alan. I'm about ready for bed. It's after 2 a.m. in the morning here, and you've done a great job. Like, really, can't say enough good things about uh you going that extra mile for us here tonight. We really, really appreciate it. And that's what this is all about. You've
Not a
invested the
problem,
time.
man. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
That's
No.
why I'm here, is in order to help
Yeah.
get the word out.
Yep.
Get people syndicated, the people that are actually putting that effort in. Okay, that's what I'm here for.
Well, done a great job. So, and looking forward to seeing you again. Uh, if you can make it, the grand finale, a little under 36 hours from now. It'll be 1 p.m. here in the afternoon, Christmas afternoon, out of South Korea, which will, uh, see that us connecting with the West in the evening hours, 8 p.m. on the West Coast of the Americas, 11 p.m. in the East, and that'll be Christmas Eve night. So for anyone that's around and I guess got nothing better to do, or for that matter, uh, are just wanting to find out more about what the campaign is all about, and not only how they can get involved, but how they can launch their own campaigns. That we're trying to uh, uh, you know trying to convey this and express it time and again. It's like, just look at what we're doing here, folks, and you know you can launch your own affiliate campaign quite easily. So as long as you're not directly soliciting any donations, uh and not not you know
Being a hypocrite.
or producing a total or train wreck, like there's got to be some basic uh, quality guidelines in place without going too overboard. So we're all hypocrites, though, man. Whether we, I mean, don't you think? Isn't everyone that was what, wasn't that you talking about that last night? Hypocrite this and hypocrite that. That was one of Christ's favorite words, wasn't it? And I'd like to know what the Aramaic was, because that was the language, that was his tongue. Uh, uh, Koine Greek was up there as well, and Hebrew way at the bottom, apparently, according to scholars. They what they talk about, what I've heard, is like, I'm not sure what was like. Are you aware of Koine Greek? Have you heard, you know heard about Koine? It was like the vernacular of its time, is how the saying goes. It was like the English of its day. Very, it was popular in the Mediterranean and Near East and Asia Minor. Most of the traders, and I'm not sure, how do you spell trader, by the way?
Obama?
Ha 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 ha. No, Trader, not Traitor. But it is interesting, I guess. Yeah, that would qualify as a homonym, wouldn't it? So it's kind of worth taking note of. You're right. Uh, the way that these words break down, it's. I don't think it's a coincidence, because if you think about it, back in the day, who were the traders? The people, they were. I'm not sure. Here's some. Oh, here, did somebody just drop in here at the last moment? But you're bleeding through there for some reason.
I'm sorry, I got it here. That's in my background here. Cat versus breakfast.
Oh, you got a YouTube video running?
No, it's actually in house. The cat, the guy I work with got up. He's getting some breakfast, and the cats and him is having an argument who's going to have the counter right now.
Okay. All right. Gift of love, gift of peace. Merry Christmas. Yeah. And the working as we have been here, the Christmas, and seeking out the Christmas spirit, and working on better, uh refining the magical seasonal elixir in a way that hopefully over time will prove uh, most advantageous for the greatest number of people. We'll just have to see the way that, what people are able to make of what it is that we've been, they say Johnny's in the basement mixing up the medicine. I'm on the pavement thinking about UNICEF. So something like that. I don't know. I'm really tired. So, but yeah, Bob Dylan, Subterranean Homesick Blues. Uh, yeah. So there's a lot more work to be done, and a lot more that we could all do a lot better. And if you've got a little extra time, folks, there's no reason why not. It's just a question, and there's so many people around the world that do a lot of great work. It's just one of the problems. It's just one of the little criticisms that I would have on a constructive basis is they've got to follow the money and be very careful that you're not getting duped, because I think, Alan, we can both agree there's all too many campaigns throughout the Christmas season where direct donations are being solicited. It's like, yeah, just send us your money and trust us, kind of deal, which is totally contrary to the way that we're going about doing things here, obviously, but not not as far as you know. I think a good number of others out there, unfortunately, whose intentions are not always the best. So it's just a sad state of affairs as far as that whole business goes. And on top of that, those who would, from the standpoint of the public, and posing as needy, members of the public, people who are just at their wits' end, unable to make ends meet, who really maybe are doing a little better than how, you know, what they're making out to be the case. So, anyways, I'm running out of fumes here, man. HomeNetwork.tv. Thank you so much, Alan. I'm gonna check we'll check the let's try to distribute the rewards here one more time, folks. One more last time. You better get in there quickly. You got about less than 20 seconds to hustle on over there. There's only a handful of people, and I think if nobody does manage to claim it this go round, it just carries on over to tomorrow, or the next day rather. So Roger Hansen did a pretty good job of cashing in when we unleashed and threw our treasure chest open to the public. So yeah, nobody tonight, which is fine. That's just the way it goes. And nobody managing to claim the prize of
To tell you what, we're going to go ahead and shut it down here. You're kind of on autopilot and just
yeah,
drifting off into sleep yourself.
yeah.
So
No,
we'll go ahead and let you go. If you're listening
thank
on
you.
Rumble, you can go over to Chill Zone and check that out on Rumble. We've got Christmas music and audiobooks playing for people doing all their Christmas things and don't have time to watch TV, but still wants to be entertained.
Thank you, Alan. HomeNetwork.tv. We'll look forward to seeing you again, hopefully with the grand finale in a little under 36 hours. All the best. Merry Christmas, and have a great night, or as it
You
is in
bet.
Colorado, day, I suppose. Peace out, brother.
All right. Have a good one.
Good night. Oh,
Okay. We're going to go ahead and get into.
yeah, so we'll let him find his way on out the door then. We got a couple comments here, courtesy of Stephanie. talking about between caring, as she says here, between caring for the kids and checking back in. Oh, that's what she's currently up to now in real life time. Kids are busy, busy, busy. Hope everyone is well. We'll have to rewatch. Missed a lot. Yeah, I guess with the feed cutting in and out. If I was you, maybe just wait until we have we have the content uploaded to Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. And do check out the show description and other things. Follow up on those links. Um, get involved in the groups that you find. Post some content. You know, talk a little bit about Harpersville, I guess. And your maybe your location, whatever you're comfortable with. That as far as that whole business goes, and maybe just more the details regarding your story, so you might have more support and sponsorship potentially. But we're going to be carrying things through. Don't forget, even though we're shutting it all down here after the final live stream in what is once again just a little under 36 hours, that St. Stephen's, the season of St. Stephen and festival, I guess, as it's with Boxing Day extended to January 15th, which is also interestingly, uh, the deadline basically for people, and they're wanting to bid on various items. So that are part of the auction component, and part of what we have to offer here as far as the campaign is concerned. So will Santa be checking in this year? Yeah, he's actually, I was on the phone with him earlier tonight, and he's pretty busy making the rounds already, just preparatory mode. But it sounds like, yeah, so kids may enjoy that. Well, they usually do. They love writing every year. We got to feature those we have them in a slideshow here, but I didn't see anything come up. Although it may have, well, didn't have our eyes on the screen necessarily. They were great letters, and I'm not sure if you heard my earlier remarks, but I was really impressed by the effort they put in to writing, and they were very, very beautiful, very touching letters. Very, very sweet, very heartfelt. You could tell. So they love writing every year. We make it a family event, gather at the table, write and color. One of their favorite things to do. That is just awesome. Way to go, Mom. So this year we added making cards for elderly in nursing homes and some veterans. Oh my God, that's so sweet. Was memorable and fun for sure. Way to go. Creating so many memories and counting our blessings. There you go. Appreciate what we're doing here. Thank you all, and thank you too. So we're gonna, I guess, on that note, maybe cue up the outro. Remind people that WPRPN.com is the main website, of course, and Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com, the email address. Not sure what was it. Operation Secret Santa is what you want to take note of. Keep in mind hashtag OSS 2025. It's a central main hashtag. Ask people if they're wanting to back and support us to the end here, to make sure that finds its way around the planet, helping to inform people of just drawing their attention to where we are, what we're up to, and what all this is actually about. So See if we can got all our settings proper. Uh, in place the way that they should be. Cue up the outro, and until next time, when we meet here out upon these high, often intrepid digital seas, remind you that on behalf of Captain Long John Sinclair and all the rest of the crew down here in Skullport Harbor, I'm one tired, very now pretty hard working with the hours we've been logging. Chief Communications Officer Jaffe Ryder reminding you to keep your ears to the ground and eyes to the sky. Tally ho.